Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lisa Alvarado.
Hola, amigos. ¿Cómo están? That's right, a Latina on the stage. That is right. It is so good to be here, you guys. What do you think of this jacket? Thank you. I got it for the show. I was at the airport and this woman was like, "Can you watch my bag?" And I was like, "Well, what size are you?" So I dressed up. You guys look really nice, especially you, sir. Thanks for, wearing a baseball cap. That's like a tuxedo here in Utah. That's amazing. I pulled up, I was looking for parking. There's no valet parking here either, which is okay with me because I hardly ever valet park my car. You know why? I don't trust those guys. You never know how they're gonna treat your kids. Right? I love ethnic diversity, you guys. I mean, look around the room. So many different kinds of beige. I mean, just every shade. A little bit of pink if you get sunburnt. I love it. I live in LA right now, and it's so ethnically, every different ethnic diversity there. Anywhere you go, you see Latino people, then other kinds of Mexicans. Mi gente. I love it there. I love to see interracial couples as well, because that means that we're loving one another. We're getting past our differences. Plus, they have beautiful children, don't they? Gorgeous. My new neighbor, she's an Asian woman married to a Latino guy, and they have the cutest little black baby. I know. I'm like, "What's up, Tyrone Lee Rodriguez?" So cute. My last name is Alvarado, which is Spanish for single parent. 3 generations strong and growing, yeah. I'm actually Peruana, Peruvian, first generation born in the US. And the crazy thing is when I tell Americans my nationality, how many of them are like, "Where's Peruvia?" Are you kidding me? I'm like, "It's by Ecuadoria." That's good. The smart people are laughing. Very good, you guys. I'm proud of you. The ones that aren't laughing, that's who I wrote the joke about. If you don't get it, just go home tonight and study. Seriously, just study your geometry. Because that will help. I was pregnant young, yeah. I was. I mean, I'm not the typical Latina in my family because I got pregnant in my late teens. My mom was like, "Hurry up, your little brother's already a grandfather." I know, I hear you. So I became a Christian when I was 4 months pregnant. Yeah, I did. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do this alone. It is too hard. It is too hard, and I do not recommend it because kids are so curious, aren't they? They're so curious. I remember when my son found his birth certificate, he was 9 years old, and he was so cute. He thought his dad was named after a reindeer. Donner, like Donner, Blitzen. I'm like, "No, baby, that says donor." That's so cute. And I had to have all the hard talks with my son by myself. Did you know that they now teach sex education to 4th grade children? 4th grade. So every day he's coming home with a new question for mom. He's like, "Mommy, where do babies come from? Why are there twins? What's a father?" And I try to be a good mom, you guys. I actually read the Bible with my son. And the only person in the Bible that I actually relate to is Mary. Because she was pregnant as a teenager, she was pregnant out of wedlock, and it was immaculate conception. What's so funny? And there's this story in the Bible. Like, I think that God chooses the right person for the task. There's one person, and he equips that person, and they're great at it, because he would not have chosen me to raise the Savior of the world. I couldn't do it, because I'm not patient. I'm not that good. Like, if my son was fooling around at bath time, I'd be like, hey, Jesus, get in the water, not on the water. Stop parting the bath. You're splashing your brother, okay? There is a story in the Bible where Mary goes with her family to the temple to worship. And then they go all the way back home, and she realizes that Jesus is not with them. So she has to get on a donkey and go all the way back 3 days. I wouldn't have been so nice. Yeah, right, moms in here? I'd be like, where were you? I was worried sick. Do you know what he says to his mother? He says, woman. That's when my chancla comes off, okay? Yeah. And then he said, did you not know that I would be in my father's house? Wait a minute, you found your father? That's amazing. Did you get a child support check? Because that would be great. And my mom says that I should have a good role model for my son. And she suggests my brother Willie, except for he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, okay? He was babysitting my son one night. It's 10 o'clock at night. He's in the front yard with a flashlight and a piece of paper in his hand. And I go, what are you doing? He said, I'm helping the kid with his homework. It says here, how many centimeters in a yard? What? He doesn't stop there. He goes, this is so unfair. These centimeters are so fast. And I go, so what are you going to write? He goes, I'm going to put, it depends on the weather. Because if it's cold, there won't be as many. Oh my gosh. So I am dating. I'm trying to find the right guy. I went out on a date with this Christian guy. I thought, oh, this is going to be great. He had me figured out in the first 20 minutes at dinner. He leans across the table and he goes, I know what your spiritual gift is. And I go, you do? That's amazing. What is it? And he goes, you have the gift of singleness. Oh. Yeah, I know. And I was like, guess what? I also have the gift of prophecy. And you and I will not be speaking in tongues. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, bye-bye. And every time I go out on a date, people want to know, have I been married? That's a fair question. But I never know what to say because I was married in my 20s for a second. And it was, such a short amount of time. I didn't even need an oil change in the time that we were married. That's how short it was. And okay, here's what happened. He started cheating 4 months into the marriage. Yeah, because 3 months would have been too soon, right? So he started cheating 4 months into the marriage, but there were signs. There were indications. We've all had bad relationships. We just don't pay attention because we're in love. I should have known. He signed our marriage license in pencil. I should have known, you guys. At our wedding, me, the bride, should not have to wait in line for the first dance. I should have known. Oh, man. So he ended up leaving, but I was crushed, and I'm like, I am going to learn how to do relationships right. I can't change him, but I can change me, and I can make me better. So I went to a counselor, and I chose a man. You know why? Because I wanted to learn how women can communicate better with men. So this counselor said, Lisa, sometimes women speak in code. And I go, well, what do you mean by that? And he goes, well, sometimes they say one thing to a man and they mean the complete opposite. Guys in here, by applause, do you agree with that? Okay, we got an amen in the front row. Perfect. Nice. Some brave men that want to sleep on the couch. Excellent. I know what you mean. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help the guys out, and I'm going to translate what some things mean that we say that doesn't mean the same thing over here. So one of the big ones is when we're in a fight with you and we say, get out, it doesn't mean get out. It doesn't. It means come back and apologize. Right, ladies? Applaud if that's the truth. Yeah, we want you to come back and say sorry. That's all. That's all. Just come back and say sorry. I can prove it. Next time she goes, get out. Try walking toward the door. Yeah, because the next words out of her mouth are, where the heck are you going? And then you might feel a knife graze the side of your head. Here's another one that you may have heard. Maybe, sir, you're relaxing on the couch and your wife comes home. She barges in. She's like, why haven't you taken out the garbage? You're like, what did I do? That translates to earlier that day, her mom called her fat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in-laws' fault. That's what happened there. This is a fight that I heard between my best friend and her boyfriend. Verbatim, they're fighting. He stops and goes, honey, what's wrong? And she replied, if you don't know, then I'm not gonna tell you. What? Ladies, we gotta tell our men. We have to tell them because they are fixers. They want to fix the problem. They are good fixers, bad guessers. Here is why we don't. I'll explain it to you guys. Here's why. We give you the benefit of the doubt. Because to us, it's crazy obvious what's going on. But ladies, men are simple and stupid. You have to tell them exactly what you want. That is why there are so few women astronauts out there. Think about, there's like 4 women, they go up into a space capsule, maybe something happens, they're gonna have to radio down. Houston, there's something has to be going on right now, there's something really wrong, we need help. Copy that, this is Houston, what seems to be the problem? If you don't know, then I'm gonna burn up in the atmosphere. So that's something that women can do for our men, to help our men out. Now, let's talk to the guys in the audience, shall we, ladies? Okay, this is what we need from you guys. I have talked to so many audiences, and I always ask the men, what's the hardest thing in relationships with women? The top 2 answers are always nagging and not enough intimacy. Nagging and not enough intimacy. So if that's true, I can tell you tonight, on behalf of women, how to solve it. Are you ready? Are you ready, sir? Are you ready with the baseball cap? Because you're not even with a woman. Get ready, buddy. Couple. You need to call me later. All right, so take notes. You can bring a woman next time. Okay, This is how you fix it, you guys. Listen up. Do it the first freaking time we ask you. What? Oh my gosh, right, ladies? Holy cow! That's a thing? You can actually do it the first time before we go crazy? Before this happens? Because the first time we ask you, it's usually really nice and respectful, and we might even throw in a please. But you don't do it till 45 times later and then wonder why we're crazy. Perfect example. A wife might say to her husband, hey, honey, the garage door broke. The spring is not working and it's slamming. It's really dangerous. Can you please fix it? And of course he says, yes, I'm going to do that. I'll do it after the game. 4 months later, the same man walks into the kitchen and he is like, why is my wife chopping a cucumber like it broke into the house? And then he asks her, he has the audacity to ask her, what's wrong, honey? And she, with fire coming out of her eyes, is like, what's wrong? Do you remember the garage door? Yeah, the cat has no tail. Yeah, your son got an involuntary haircut yesterday. And then he might say these 2 words that you never say to an angry woman, guys, ever. Calm down. Oh, never say that to an angry woman unless you are wearing a cup. Never. You know why? Because we don't hear words. When you say calm down, we hear a bell ringing. That's what we hear. We hear ding, ding, ding in this corner. Wearing the blue boxer shorts with a hole in them. Weighing in at 198 pounds of stupid. It's Gary, I love sleeping on the couch, Johnson. His opponent in this corner is wearing the black Spanx. She is the lightweight champion of the world, weighing in at whatever it says on her driver's license. It's Sally, I told you so, Johnson. Let's have a clean fight. Yes! Thank you! Whew. Oh, you guys are fun. I haven't given up on love. I haven't. I'm a softie. I don't know. I had an audience member ask me after the last show, they're like, do you date audience members? And I don't. Here's why. It's because most comedy clubs are full of alcohol, have at least a 2-drink minimum, and people are hammered at the end of the night. So they've been drinking, and I always get the worst pickup lines. This guy literally stumbles over to me and goes, yo, do you really have a kid? And I said, yes, I have a son. He goes, you want to go halves on another one? Write that one down, Sparky. That might work. So now I'm trying the online dating thing, you know, and the weird thing, I tried Match.com. Oh my gosh, that is expensive to meet a crazy person. Oh my gosh. Right? So expensive. But they got all these free sites now. They have a new Latino site that's free. It's called Okay Stupid. I love that. Yeah. I've tried this other one called Overstock.com. That's fantastic. Yeah. Because you can get a couch and a couch potato, so just stock up, you know? Let's just talk to the men in the audience on behalf of women about the pictures. Because, man, you guys got to change them. Here's the one that I never want to see again. It's this one where you cut the ex-girlfriend out of the picture. You're not fooling us. There's hair on your shoulder. That's not your own. Just leave her in there. We're crazy. We want to know what she looks like. Yeah, so when we're out, we know who to cut. That's just logical. Here's the other one, this picture that I cannot stand. First of all, this one where they take the shirt off with the cell phone in the bathroom? That is the room of your house you are going to choose to take a picture of. What's wrong with you? Here's the thing, men and women see pictures completely different. A guy just looks at the woman, but a woman sees everything. everything in that picture. Every single detail. We're like CSI. Do you understand? We see fingerprints. We look at that picture and we see our future, okay? We're not looking at you. We look at you for maybe 2 seconds. Then you know what we see? Your dirty counter. Yeah, we're looking right past you at your SpongeBob shower curtain. We're looking right behind you going, what, did he wipe his butt with that towel? What is happening? There was a guy that actually posted a picture in his bedroom, but it looked like a crime scene. There was literally dried up bowls of food, there was towels over the window, and a chalk outline of a dog. What is going on? I mean, if you want to find a good woman, think about your picture. You want to look smart, right? Put some books back there. Put your grandma in a rocking chair next to you. Put your sister's kid in a baby Bjorn. We love that stuff. Get a puppy, man. Be smart. And here's the other thing. Know how to spell. Oh my goodness. I'm sure the women have gotten these text messages both ways, women and men. There's this thing on your phone called spell check. Crazy! It's free, guys! There's this thing called autocorrect so that you don't look like you have a first grade education. Use it! I was talking to this one guy, and we're going back and forth, and he wants to meet, and I said, great, where would you like to meet? And he said, let's do something subtle. And he spelled it, S-U-D-D-L-E. I'll give you a minute, Utah. Yeah, and I'm like, well, I guess Scrabble's out. Oh my goodness. And I was like, maybe I'm being too negative. Maybe it's me, okay? So let me be nice. And so I typed back, why don't we just cuddle? And I spelled it, C-U-B-T-L-E. Yeah, because I have the gift of singleness. Thank you so much. I had a blast with you. Thank you so much for coming.
Hey, I'm Lisa Alvarado. Thank you so much for tuning in to my Dry Bar special. Did you learn something? I mean, we're all gonna save our relationships, right? Yes, we are. So that means you need to tip me, like you would tip a therapist, because I'm gonna save your marriage. Did you just hear what we talked about? $5? This is the cheapest therapy you're ever gonna pay for.